The birth of the consumer culture. Before the modern age, humans primarily consumed what they needed to survive. People repaired, reused, and only acquired what was necessary. But with the Industrial Revolution came mass production, making goods cheaper and more accessible. Governments, industries, and economists began encouraging consumption not just as an economic necessity, but as a moral good. Buying became patriotic. It meant supporting the economy, providing jobs, and ensuring progress. Consumerism was born not out of individual desire alone, but as a collaboration between ideology, economic systems, and psychology. People were no longer just producers. They were becoming full-time consumers, shaping their identities by what they purchased. Shopping as identity. The psychological revolution. As consumerism took hold, buying things became more than fulfilling needs. It became about self-expression. A watch was no longer just a timekeeping device, but a signal of wealth or style. Cars, clothes, and even food brands became tools to communicate personality, status, and belonging. This shift wasn't accidental. Advertising agencies tapped into human psychology, linking emotion with products. Happiness was sold in the form of chocolate. Freedom came with a new car. Love was now symbolized by a diamond ring. In effect, capitalism began selling not goods, but feelings. Consumer behavior also began reflecting deeper psychological needs, the desire to be seen, validated, and accepted. Shopping evolved into a cultural ritual, and malls became temples of modern life, where we sought meaning, not just merchandise. Economic engines. Fueled by desire, consumerism turned desire into an economic engine. The system thrived on creating and maintaining dissatisfaction. You had to feel that what you owned wasn't enough, or that it was outdated. Trends were born to make the old feel obsolete. The phrase retail therapy emerged, suggesting emotional healing through spending. Governments embraced this model, using it to stimulate economies during downturns. For instance, post-World War II, America promoted home ownership, new appliances, and cars as a national goal. Suburbia exploded, along with television commercials, fast fashion, and plastic credit. Debt became a normalized part of life, a tool to keep buying even when you couldn't afford it. The economy grew, but so did consumer dependency, inequality, and environmental degradation. Modern growth became a cycle of desire, debt, and depletion. Global impact. From Western malls to Asian megacities, consumerism quickly spread from the West to the rest of the world. As countries developed, they imported not just technology, but also the culture of consumption. In China, India, Brazil, and beyond, shopping malls and brand consciousness became signs of modernity and success. Cultural practices were reshaped. Weddings, birthdays, and holidays became increasingly commercial. Black Friday, once uniquely American, became a global shopping phenomenon. Globalization made it easier than ever to sell the same dreams worldwide. Luxury, beauty, youth, freedom, all with a price tag. Yet this expansion came with tension. While millions were lifted out of poverty and gained access to goods, others were exploited in supply chains or overwhelmed by materialistic values. The consumer paradise wasn't equally shared, and in many places, the psychological cost of keeping up was immense. Cracks in the dream toward conscious consumption. Despite its dominance, the consumer model is facing a reckoning. Climate change, overconsumption, and mental health crises have raised questions about the sustainability of endless growth. Movements like minimalism, ethical fashion, and zero-waste living are gaining traction. Younger generations are starting to push back. Instead of buying more, many are seeking experiences, meaning, and purpose. Tech advances, such as the rise of the sharing economy, Uber, Airbnb, etc., also challenge traditional ownership models. Harari suggests that for Homo sapiens to survive the 21st century, we may need to evolve not only our technologies, but our desires. If consumption defined modern civilization, perhaps consciousness will define the next one. The ultimate question is, can we build a society where humans thrive without being defined by what they buy?